So at this stage, you should have a Ubuntu box running on the Amazon Elastic Cloud Computing. We're going to connect to that using the key pair we've authorized and the public IP address provided to us after starting an instance. And just as before, connecting should run smoothly. We haven't had any issues connecting. One of the first things I'm going to do is check some machine data and take a look to see if we're protected against some vulnerability. Shellshock and Bash Bug are in the news at the moment. This is a vulnerability test. You can see this box is clearly vulnerable to this bug. It's good practice to update your machine. So we're going to use sudo apt-get update. Now this doesn't actually install any new versions of software. It just updates the local package list. Once this package list is updated, we can upgrade to the newer packages just by using the sudo apt-get upgrade command. We're not going to modify the grub. I'm just going to keep the current version. We should now be patched against the vulnerability. We have a different response than we did earlier. This box is now patched. There are a few other things we can do. I'm just going to use apt-get dist-upgrade, just a smarter package updater, and it catches anything that apt-get upgrade may have failed to do. It's not a release upgrade. We're already running the latest Ubuntu version here. If you did want to do that, you'd use the do release upgrade command. Okay, we're fully patched. Checking the kernel release, we're running an outdated version. So I'm going to create a kernel directory and download the headers and images for the latest available kernel. Oops, I've forgotten to place them in my temporary folder. Just going to move those across. Let's keep things neat. Okay, we're going to use the Debian package manager here to install these headers and images. It looks like our kernel install is complete. So we're going to restart the machine and reconnect. We should have an up-to-date Linux distribution that's Shellshock proof. Yep, that's the latest kernel and the vulnerability test. Our machine has successfully been patched and we're no longer vulnerable to the Shellshock bug. Time to save this box as our own instance. Taking a look at our running instances, we need to stop our instance before we create an image. You do this by clicking stop on the drop-down menu. Creating an instance is very simple. You select the instance you're running and hit create image. We're just going to name it with some up-to-date information so it's easily identifiable when we launch this machine in the future. So it's an Ubuntu box and kernel. Just going to copy and paste that into the image description and hit create image. The request is being processed and it's going to take some time. So eventually our customized machine is available. I'm going to terminate the current running machine and we're going to launch a brand new copy of our customized Ubuntu. It's done in a similar way as before, but this time we click on My Machines and identify our box, hit select, and launch it in the same way as we have done before. Now we just wait a few moments. Here is our Ubuntu box. Now we have a public IP and the name of the key pair authorized to access our updated Ubuntu. We're just going to connect to our modified instance and confirm that the changes we have made are present. So using the IP address and the username Ubuntu, we're connecting to our virtual machine in the same way as before. That's going well. Check some machine data. we still are running the latest kernel version. That's good news. What about the bash bug vulnerability? That also remains patched. Okay, we now have an instance, an up-to-date instance, which we can use for our cloud computing purposes.